Welcome. We're now on the mountain Guas, and we're in the battle of the legs. So the idea with this is similar to the idea that we've already gone over with the battle of the hands and lifting forces, but we're going to go about it in a little bit different way. It's not necessarily I have to come from up underneath, but the idea is that I need to bump and disrupt balance. Right, so if you take a stance like this, right now we're just going to talk about the legs themselves. We're just going to leave the hands at B, right? So the idea of how we use the mountain here is to bump the stance. And I don't mean like I'm going to full on sweep legs here. That's coming in a different video. But the idea that I just bump by walking through, right? From here, just from me stepping here and then bending my knee. From here I've disrupted his balance. From here I can drop that to the ground, right? Or I can work my way through here if I want him to take a step back that way. I could also, right, from there, come around this way and just bump his leg this way. So if we come up just about here so everybody can see properly and they won't miss my legs there, right? I come from here and I just kind of shift from horse stance into bow stance. And even if I just take my ends out entirely, right? Just that takes a stance. And again, right? Just that takes a stance. That's the whole idea. It's not that you're necessarily going for a technique necessarily, right? So he takes his stance. It's not like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take the leg, right? It's just that you're walking and his legs are in the way. So you take his legs. So what they always taught me, what my teachers always taught me, is that every step should be a potential kick. So whenever I take a step, it should not just be kind of lazily stepping, but rather it should be like I'm kicking their leg or I'm kicking out their foot. So everything must be that way. So if he has a stance again, right, I can take out his foot like this, just like I'm stepping through. Right? Same thing from here, right? Same idea. Or I can, step around his foot and then transition to bow step, and now I've got his back. That's the idea. So while we would be assuming that techniques are happening up here, right? I'm taking his balance. It doesn't need to be a big thing. It doesn't need to be a takedown or anything, right? It doesn't need to be like a super sweet takedown or anything like that. It just needs to be a small bump. Because if we take like wrestlers into mind, right? A lot of them, super sturdy, can't move them around. But if you bump them off guard first, then you can take them. So if we're here, right? Just a small bump here, right? Without the bump, right? We can wrestle here, but just get a small bump, and suddenly he's a lot easier to move. So that's the idea. While there's stuff happening up here, right? There's stuff happening down here. In northern systems, we're known for having, northern legs. The northern legs doesn't mean northern kicks, because we do have those, but it's northern legs, which means it includes footwork for exactly the reasons that we're talking about here, right? So just positioning your feet in the right spots at the right time and being able to take their balance just through moving through your step. As my teacher always said, move as if the opponent is not there. And if they're in the way, that's their problem. You just move into your spot, and if they're falling all over themselves, that's their problem. So that's the idea of mountain Guas within the battle of the legs. See you in the next video.